The next section is on a new tool that we've developed called QuickQuote. QuickQuote is a new tool that we're introducing today, and we're going to be delivering a demo of in a minute. This taps again into what Helen was talking about earlier, this idea of simplificationalism, which I talked about at last year's Ideas Lab. We want to make it as simple as possible for you to be able to generate quotes on our platform, and for your teams to be able to do that as well. So we are trying really hard to make sure you can bring someone into your business, and in a matter of minutes, they can configure an iPECS cloud quote. They can really easily understand it, and using the new tool that we're going to be demoing today, they'll be able to pull that quote together and get it to a customer. We're also working on adding iPECS UCP on-premise solutions to this as well, and you'll see that in a version 2 of the product. But to provide a little bit more detail, just waiting for the slide to catch up. Essentially, it's an online sales quoting tool, meaning that you can add in your customer requirements, so a few basic parameters that you want to put into the tool, some information about users, what their requirements are, what handsets you want. You'll see it all in a second, and then they will be able to receive a quote from you very, very easily. This again links to the topic that we've been talking about lots today, this whole idea of remote selling. We designed the tool to be used collaboratively, so you could easily share your screen with your customer. It's all been designed with the idea that if you wanted to, you could show your customer the screen, show your customer the tool, and quote it with them, either sitting next to them, of course, 2 meters apart, or via a screen share. There are images of the handsets in there. We've created links to videos of the product, so if you bring up a certain handset, you'll see a link to that video. We'll be adding brochures in and lots of other useful features that really give you everything you need to create a really compelling proposition for your customers, and also the details of the quote. The way in which we're going to be bringing the product to market is essentially there'll be a free version of the product. So we'll give you everything you'd need to be able to use it. But we believe there are some additional features and functionality that may be specific to your business and might be more bespoke, and those will be delivered to you on a chargeable model. We'll be talking a bit more about those over time, and you don't have to take those. It's entirely optional. But we think there could be some good things like maybe CRM integration and other areas that could be really useful for you that we could charge on a premium basis. So without further ado, let's get into the demo. I'm very pleased to have Richard Knight, who many of you may remember from when he used to work with us at Pragma. Richard's going to be delivering a demo, so performing a lovely high wire act. I'm going to make him presenter now, hopefully. So let's just try. That should make you presenter. Have you got it?
Yes.
Superb. Okay, I'm going to turn my video off for a second and let you take over, Rich.
Great. Thanks, Will. Yeah, as Will was saying there, we're going to run through the process from start to finish. So there's a number of layers to the quoting tool. So you've got a sales user section, which we'll look at first, and then there's an administrator function where a sales manager or a sales administrator would be able to add products, edit lease rates, and various other functions. But first of all, we'll just run through the quoting tool from a salesperson's perspective. What we try to do is break it down into multiple steps to make the process as simple as possible. So the first step that we've got here is just taking the customer's details. So we'll quickly put the customer's details in. And then you have the option to select a tariff. So some feedback we've got through working closely with some of you guys is that something you'd like to have in there is a tariff. So that gives you the ability to set certain percentage uplifts on RRP, so you can decide how much profit you're adding to each of your deals. These can be named yourselves, but we'll take a look at that from the admin functionality in a minute. Next, you'll get onto the system configuration. So you've got your user licenses here. So we're going to configure a 10-user cloud system. And then we're going to also have a separate option for device licenses. So this may be things like, door entry phones or something that doesn't need a user functionality. We've also got the ability to select your applications at this point. So you may have 10 users using the UCE softphone. You may also want to have quote for maybe 5 users of the Skype for business integration. Next thing we've got here is the bundled minutes. So you can select the amount of bundled minutes for this service, and then you've also got the network services below. The network services can be added in from your reseller admin portal. So you could add things like broadband or line rental, which you can attach to the quotation. Again, broken up really simply, so you can select handset models that you'd like to add to the customer quotation. As Will mentioned earlier, it also gives you an image of the products here as well, and you can hover over to get full-size images. You can also add your own, any of your own hardware products to the system and categorize them yourself. So you may have a routers category. Again, you've added your router images and switches as well. So once you've added your hardware, we'll go on to the next step, which is numbers. So you can decide whether you're going to be porting in existing numbers or adding new numbers to the platform. We've also built in a simple bill analysis tool. So if you're sitting alongside your customer or you have view of their monthly bill, you can enter their monthly expenditure in here, and it will analyze their monthly expenditure against the quote that you're running. We next move on to the payment method. So you have the ability to select a leasing option here if you'd like to. Again, as mentioned earlier, the leasing options are completely controllable by the reseller administration portal, which we'll look at shortly. You can also enter a settlement figure. So if you're, buying someone out of their contract early, and also add a discount code as well if you have set these up from the reseller portal. Once you finish your quotation, that will then run all of your calculations and output the monthly costs and the hardware costs. If you've got a leasing option applied, it will also break the monthly leasing option down, and also the early settlement figure. You can then generate this as a PDF and download this either via a PDF or a CSV. If you'd like to, put that into your own proposal document, you can download as a CSV. There will be additional options coming, some in pro features and some including the freemium version where you can email the quote directly. We're going to have the ability to attach logos, company logos to that as well for branding. We're just going to take a look at the reseller portal now. So we're logged in as a reseller as the administrator. So if there's a sales manager, they may also want the functionality of being able to raise a quote themselves. So the quote builder's also built into the sales manager portal. You've also got the ability to add your broadband packages from here. So you can simply hit the plus button, decide on a name for your broadband. You might want a leased line as an option. You can enter your upfront cost and the monthly cost and RRP as well. You can also add hardware products. You'll notice here there's a number of hardware products available. All of the Ericsson LG iPECS products will be preloaded into this tool, so you can easily just adjust the prices across those. And any new products that are released will also be shown in your portal automatically. You also have the ability to add your own hardware products and categories as well. So it will categorize them as we saw previously. So you could add a switches category, add the name of the switch you'd like to add, and again, the price. You'll notice that we've also, again, what Will mentioned earlier, you can enter a video URL and upload an image. So you can enter the video URL for that specific product, which will then link into your YouTube channel, tying it really nicely into the quick start videos. You've also got the ability, as we looked at, to add your own tariffs in here. So you can name this yourself. You may not want the clients to know that you're setting a particular rate, so you could give this any kind of name you wanted. You can then decide whether it uplifts the amount by a percentage or a fixed value, and then enter the percentage below. You're also able to enter discount codes. So you can see here that we've set up some May sale discounts and June sales, which would give 20 or 25% discount. Again, really easy to set up. Just simply enter your discount code and discount percentage. We've then got the ability to add leasing options in here as well. So you can set the term of the leasing. You can name the lease. So we might want to set a 3-year. Just on hardware. And so you've got 36 months, set the percentage, and then set the upfront multiplier, which is the amount of months upfront you'll want to take at the start of the deal, and then select whether it includes the monthly services in this lease deal or not. You've also got the ability to administer users from here as well, so you can easily add sales users or admin users. You're completely self-sufficient with the portal and able to add and remove new sales agents as they start within the company, and also add new sales managers as well to help administer the hardware products and tariffs and leasing. And that's all included in the freemium version of the product, and there's going to be a roadmap released shortly for version 1.5 and also the pro features as well.
Great overview. Thank you very much. We are looking to take the product into beta trial next week.
Yeah, next week.
So if there's anybody out there who'd like to be added to the list, we've already got a pretty long list of people who are keen to beta trial it. But if you'd like to, we are more than happy to add you, and would love to work with you on it.